What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel. Thanks for stopping by today. In today's video, I wanted to kind of cover my thoughts on whether you should be running and taking the time to run teams with synergies in the arena. Um, Now, there's kind of two different, I guess, schools of thought on this, and I watch a lot of streams of YouTubers and videos on YouTube, um, and I see people running the arena. They just grab the top three champs on their list and they put them in there without considering masteries, which I guess I understand to a point. If you are somebody who is going for a featured champion, and the only thing that you're looking at is making sure that you get in as many fights as often as possible. I guess there's an explanation and a thought there, but from my perspective, usually the basic champ is what I'm going for. So what I want to do is I want to maximize and get the absolute most points that I can get out of every single fight that I'm running. And the way to do that is with synergies. And it really is something that you're not going to be able to do overnight. You really need to sit down and take a look through your champion list and plan out your fights accordingly, which is what I've done. But what will happen is you get kind of into this rhythm, and I already know, exactly which fight is coming up. I know who's next, who I'm going to use. So for example, when I get into my screen, and typically I won't have any team there on the left, the first team that I'm going to run is Black Panther, Daredevil, Black Widow. And they're all there at the top of the screen. It's just as easy for me to pull over three random characters as it is those three, and I get the benefit of the synergy. If I just picked my top three and ran them through there, Black Panther is at 57-37. If I run him through with a synergy team, even just two synergies, he's at 59-43. Which what I will show you is that turns into several hundred points, for each character that you're running through. Which, when you're talking about hundreds and sometimes, thousands of points or thousands of fights, if you're going for featured champions, that makes a big difference. When it comes down to just a couple thousand points or just a couple 100,000 points between getting the character you want or making the basic cutoff or not. So what I do and what my main goal is when I'm picking teams that have synergies is that I really only want to be using characters that I can see, or possibly maybe are just one row down. So what I'll do is once I've run through this first team here. And keep in mind, those characters would then filter down to the bottom because I hit the help button to clear out the top space here. The next team up, I use World War II, Winter Soldier, and Captain America. Again, once those clear through, now X-23, Magneto, and Cyclops would have moved up at that point. The following team is Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, and Black Bolt. And again, these teams just keep filtering up to the top, so I really am not doing, any sort of searching for these teams. They just keep coming to the top. Next is Star-Lord, Gamora, and Drax. Next is Venom, Spider-Man, and Electro. And I'm running through these real quickly just to show the fact that I have all these teams memorized. I could do that with my eyes closed. I could tell you which team is next because I just constantly do it. And I do it all the way down my list. I mean, even down here, once I'm down into the rank, what are they, rank 2s, I think? Yeah, rank 2s, rank 3s. Rank 3s. Like Black Panther, War Machine, and Hawkeye right here. That's a team that I always run. You've got Rocket Raccoon. Everything's mixed up here, but here we go. We got Ronan and Groot. Oops, I missed the Ronan. Where'd he go? Oh, I'm sorry. It's Rocket Raccoon. I'm going too fast. That's just a couple examples. My Nightcrawler is a new one, and I got Beast not too long ago, and those two pair really well with each other. I'm trying to decide if I want to run Superior Iron Man or Iron Patriot with Beast, because you'll see there both of those have synergies with each other. So not every single team do I have perfect synergies with, getting 2 or 3, but for the most part I always try to get as many synergies as I can, from characters that are all right next to each other that I'm going to be playing. So in that instance, I had to scroll down once, but the PI has gone up so much that it's well worth, taking into account. What I want to focus on now, and I'm sorry if I blew through that too quickly, is this team right here that I run, and specifically, I want to look at Venom. Let me switch over here to a couple pictures to show you. Okay, so these are now a couple of pictures that I took, and it's been like a week ago now, but what I was trying to do is just keeping track of the point difference between running teams with synergies, against people I have class advantage against, and without synergies, just trying to show comparison. So in this first picture here, what you're looking at is a Thanos team, so the PI of the enemy is fairly low, just because they don't have masteries. But I'm running my synergy team here, and we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be looking at Venom specifically. Running against a 3800 vision, my PI's up over 6,000, and I get 10,779 points. And what you'll see is this next picture, I have Venom. I'm running a class advantage against Rocket Raccoon, but this time I do not have the benefit of my synergies. I just threw two other random characters in there. And one thing to keep in mind is, even though Rocket Raccoon is a higher PI than the Vision that I just fought, even with the class advantage, it's almost 300 points less than what I got from Vision. And if you take that into account, not only for Venom, but for Spider-Man and for Electro, that you're getting somewhere between, 200, 350, points per character, you're talking about bringing in an extra, somewhere around 1,000 points for every, every fight that you win, every set of 3 fights that you win. And when you multiply that out, and that's the bigger picture, when you multiply that out, it makes a big difference. I want to show the point difference here when I don't have class advantage. So again, I'm not running a synergy team. These are just two random characters that I threw in there with Venom. Magneto is at 4631 PI. I bring in 10,515 points. And what you'll notice here again, even with a synergy, or even though I'm running against a character in Daredevil that is quite a bit lower in PI than Magneto was, because I have my synergy team, again, I'm pulling in almost 300 more points. So you can imagine, if you're running against, comparison, like if I was actually running against Magneto here and I had my full synergy team, you could imagine, because his PI is a lot higher than Daredevil, it would have even been more than 10,800, probably would have been closer to 11,000. So I hope that is fairly obvious that if you can get teams and synergies together, without having to scroll a lot, it's well worth your time to be able, to do that. I'm going to switch back over one quick second and kind of show you how I put together my teams. All right, I'm not going to lie, it took a lot of time in the beginning for me to sit down and kind of walk through my teams, and a lot of times I made mistakes. But eventually, you will get so used to running these teams that you just know, when I see Magic, I know that I run her with Guillotine and whatever character she gets a synergy with. But the best way to start is just go ahead and pull in a character. Maybe you don't know who you can run with your Hulkbuster. So I just throw him in there, and I click on the Mastery tab right there, and I just take a look through. Are any of these characters ones that I do not currently have synergies with and run with other teams? And in this case, I really don't have a team that I run with Yellow Jacket. And really, I don't have a team that I run with Superior Iron Man either. So just like that, and I didn't know how that was going to work out, but that was perfect. Now I've got a synergy team. I've got 3 synergies for characters that I didn't previously have a use for. I was just running them through with any other 2-3 random characters that I could get a hold of. So I hope that has put some ideas into your head. Hopefully you'll go back and take a look through your champion list, maybe a little bit differently. If you have any questions on that, I'd be happy to help you out. If you have any comments or your thoughts and opinions on that, is it worth taking the time to pull up the synergies or just go through the top 3? I think it's a worthwhile debate. I really kind of find it interesting, so I'd love to hear your opinions on that. Once again, guys, I appreciate you coming by today. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. I try to get not daily videos out. I'm not to that point yet, but I try to get a video up every couple of days. And put together guides and helpful tips for you. So if you have enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it if you've got a newer character or a new player, in mind, somebody, a friend who's just joined that can help them out. Would really appreciate that. All right, guys, have a great day. Until the next video, take care. Bye.